Yo, what's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me today for another replay analysis. Today we're going to be doing an analysis for Hubert Osek Boy. 2v2 champ 2, and he says he feels like he's struggling with decision making and game sense in general, and he would love some analysis. So that's what we're going to do for him. If you guys want your own replay analysis done, go ahead and read the description. All the information on how to submit an analysis is down below in the description. Again, thank you guys for being here watching. I really appreciate it. Let's get into this analysis. Okay, right away, champ 2, not a bad speed flip kickoff. It looks a little, nah, not bad. Start ping in this game. It's looking a little like laggy almost. Maybe it's just me. To just get on, so I haven't like seen the game. This is my first time seeing Rocket League today. If you've ever not played for a while or played a different game and then went to play Rocket League, you understand that like it takes a minute to like get focused on Rocket League. It's weird. Okay, so we got to make a decision much faster here right away. I'm fine with you not challenging. I actually kind of like that you're not challenging this. There's no reason you need to. And if you were to go for the 50-50 with you, he'd probably beat you, or it'd probably be a favorable outcome for them. So I'm good. And for people wondering why, because he would be trying to force the ball this way, and he's trying to force the ball pretty much neutral. That's really all he can do from this position, maybe slightly in this direction. So his angle is just a lot harder up in the opposite direction. He's forcing his momentum through the ball, while he would be forcing his momentum kind of like side on. So he's going to lose this 50-50 if this guy decides to go. So good decision to not go here. And again, there's not really any danger if you don't go and he hits it. It's just going to come off the corner, and then you play this out perfectly. You turn, and if it bounces off the corner, you can go for it. Or if it bounces off your back wall, you can go for it up the back wall, or you can just sit on the ground and wait. But if you're going to go for it off the back wall, you need to be going a lot faster. Right? We just need to make a decision. Like, if you're going to go for this, you need to go now, or you're going to miss it. You're not going to get there in time. Another option here is just, boom, that happens. We turn off ball cam and we just turn out facing midfield, right? Boom. Now he is probably going to go for a demo on us, so we have to be aware of that. Try to avoid the demo at the same time here. But we turn out, we turn off ball cam so that we can see the only threatening player, because he's not shooting off of this bounce, right? He's going to be coming in sharp on this angle. He's going to be landing about here. Ball's bouncing off the wall out there. He can't shoot. So he's not who we need to keep our eye on. But again, we do need to watch for the demo as he rotates through here. So we're turning off ball cam so that the ball can bounce off the wall over our head, out in front of us. And we're also watching to see. So we should be sitting on the wall down here, facing out this direction. The ball will be bouncing out over our head, and we would have vision out in front of us, seeing if this other player, who is the only threatening player for a shot, is going for a shot or not. We would see that he's very far back, and we would know that we can take our time on going for the ball. But if he was close and he was going to go for a shot, we have time to jump up and go for deflection. So just hesitated on making a decision there, and I put you in a bad spot. I see that a lot. Okay, so let's go back. I'm fine that you're playing this passively. You don't really know what's going to happen, and either of these players can beat you to this ball if they instantly decided to go. So you're making the right decision, honestly, by not going for this. However, once you do decide to go for this, or once you have seen that they like kind of fumbled it, this position is not a great position to do anything, right? What can you really do here that sets up your teammate? The ball is hugged flush against the wall. There's no real space between the ball and the wall. So it's going to be very difficult or nearly impossible to get a bounce off of the wall to center field for your teammate. By going for this, you essentially have to pinch it, which is going to go send the ball flying very quickly in any direction. And so going for the ball in this position is essentially never going to result in anything, really, any offensive pressure. So honestly, what I would do here, I don't know if this boost is up. We'll go back and take a look. If it's up, I would opt to just steal that boost for starters and then just stay close, stay in the area, make this guy's life hard while he's trying to clear the ball, and then, you know, try to dispossess him when he gets around this area trying to push the ball out. And if you can't, then you just rotate out. Your play's over. But there was really no reason to go for this ball. Yeah, I know, like, they kind of gave you a lot of time to go for the ball here, and you're trying to, like, maybe take advantage of that. But there's just no high percentage play here. There's really not. Kind of a waste of time to go for this. So we're seeing if that boost is up or if that's a replay bug. I believe it is up. I think they were both trying to leave it for each other. Nobody ended up grabbing it. So you have 100 boost, but I would expend that. Just use one boost so that you can grab that boost, steal it, and then linger around that area. As he brings the ball towards you, then you try to dispossess him. Then the outcome will likely have a higher chance of you guys actually being able to do something with the follow-up. Okay, you did say that you feel like you struggle with game sense. You're champ 2. You've been playing for a while. You've experienced a decent amount at this point, so you should be able to recognize that you can't score this. This is an unthreatening ball. Right? Look at the angle. You're coming from this direction. The ball's moving in this direction. By the time you make contact, you're going to be about here. And look at the shot that you can possibly take. The contact that you can make on the ball here is not going to put a lot of power on it. By the time you hit this ball, at the angle you have to drop it in order to take a shot, the ball's going to have very little speed, and it's going to be very easily saved by your opponent. So again, we're kind of wasting our time and our boost and our positioning by going for this ball. Better play here would be to stay grounded. As this ball came out, we stay grounded and we actually catch the ball here, and we bring it up the sidewall, maybe grabbing these 2 pads so that we can stay as high boost as possible so we can make a solo aerial play. Or perhaps we catch it on the side, on the right side, right? Say the ball's landing here, we get on the right side of it, push it out towards the mid boost, and then again, we make the solo play. Or, you know, you don't have to go up the air or up the wall in the air. There's potential to make a ground play as well. But the main thing here is that ball was not scoreable. Yeah, you could have maybe put it on target, but at that angle that you had to shoot, it's going to be super slow because you have to cut the angle so sharply. Again, we go back and look at it one more time. You should be able to tell that by the time you're approaching or by the time you're reaching that ball, if you were to have tried to put that on target, it was not going to be a threatening shot. So yeah, we kept the ball in their end here, but at what cost, right? We used all of our boost to do that, which, okay, your teammate was able to follow up, but now look at the outcome. You're both overcommitted, essentially. You have 0 boost. He just used probably 35 boost to get that touch, and is now expending more boosts in order to get back faster. So you just put yourselves in a bad position by making that play. You could have made a controlled play with more boost that was actually threatening by taking control of that ball instead of going up for something that was not threatening. There's no point in putting weak shots on net. Good demo from our teammate. We try to set ourselves up here. Failed pretty hard. So yeah, obviously we just want to hit that more with the front of our car so that we're facing the ball once we pop it and we can actually follow it up quickly. Because we hit it with the side of our car, which I'm sure was an accident. Probably didn't mean to, but just so you know, you could set yourself up this way if you want to turn on the ball early here. But we need to hit the ball with the front of our car so that we can quickly follow it up instead of hitting it and now we're facing left when the ball is moving right and now we can't go for it. Oh. Okay. Going for the air dribble. Not very good execution. I don't like to point out much mechanical mistakes because mechanics just have to really get refined over time. It's not quite something you can just take and run with right after the analysis, but I will explain this. Maybe it'll help. But if you're gonna go for the air dribble here, you gotta stay closer to the ball. On your initial contact, right, you popped it. Let me see it one more time. You pop it and then for a moment you stop boosting, if you notice that. And so that time when you're not boosting, that ball is traveling away. It's gaining ground on you because you're going slower than the ball. So you need to continue boosting. What we want to do is actually don't boost on the first touch and then boost towards it after that. That way you catch up with the ball. You don't send the ball so fast away from yourself. We're not boosting into the ball. And then as soon as we do hit the ball, we then start boosting towards it. You kind of did the opposite. You boosted into the ball and then you didn't boost after your touch, and so the ball again gained space on you and you didn't stay close for the air dribble. Yeah, there's that demo. Very common play when an opponent is driving through your corner, they're almost always going to go for a demo on you. So you got to be aware of that. Hard to react in that position for sure. Okay, so we are hesitating. Hesitating has been a recurring issue now. First recurring issue so far is hesitation, right? I'm fine. I like that you're going for this because your teammate turned off of it. So somebody's got to go. You can't just give him this ball for free. But then you have this guy beat, right? You have him beat. He's still turning to go for the ball. And if you go for this at full speed, you beat him and you get the ball past him. And you can collect the mid boost after your touch. But you just stop going for the ball for whatever reason. You slow down and it turns into a 50-50. What should have been a clean beat was turned into a 50-50 when it shouldn't have been. So again, hesitating really so far, most recurring issue. But I like your positioning. Your positioning has been good. Yeah, that was a shooting opportunity there. I think we just got a little nervous. We are low boost, so this shot is a little harder. try to tell yourself while you're playing, try to remind yourself while you're playing, okay, when I have a chance, I need to try my best to score it. I need to score. Your goal is to score. You need to be present minded, right? A lot of the time it's easy to go on autopilot, and then when a scoring opportunity comes like this, you just sort of aren't really focused and you're not ready for it. So you need to remind yourself while you're playing. Capitalize. Execute. Don't fuck up. When I'm playing, I'm telling myself stuff in my head. At my rank, what works the best for me at GC is every game I'm telling myself in my head constantly while I'm playing, okay, keep the ball close and solo play. A lot of you probably don't like to hear that, but GCs are pretty bad. So what helps me win the most is solo play, keep the ball close, like controlled plays. Every time I get the ball, I am making a controlled solo play. Now, obviously I do pass sometimes when it's really available or it's my only option, but I am constantly running that through my head while I'm playing. Solo play, keep the ball close. So you need to be running things through your head while you're playing. Things that you're trying to work on, or things that you notice work well, work consistently in your games. You need to be reminding yourself of them while you're playing. So this is just an execution thing. Ideally, we flip to the right here, not the left, right? If we flipped to the right, if we did a speed flip to the right instead of the left, we would be landing with our wheels on the wall as we move the ball this way, and we can follow up the ball a lot. We can follow up the ball instead of the randomness occurring that happens and bouncing it off of the wall, and I think it hits into him. We flipped the wrong direction here for sure. Small detail, not sure if that helps at all. That's something that's like, I pointed out, but it's really hard to think about something like that in the moment. But notice how here, boom, we do a right speed flip into this ball. Maybe if I play it out one more second here. Boom. I think with 66 boost, it doesn't really matter, but I think if we did a right speed flip, we actually might be able to collect this boost and stay on the ball. So we're stealing his boost, staying on the ball, and getting it past him, all with a right speed flip instead of a left speed flip. It's just the way your car interacts with the ball, and the fact that if you flip to the right, your wheels are going to be landing on the wall here. So small detail, but this was technically not ideal. Let me go back like 2 times here. Okay, boom, boom, okay. All right. I'm not gonna say anything really. Good job putting it on target. Eventually on target won't be good enough. You'll have to start shooting higher shots instead of just worm burners. But hey, there you go. Nice shot again. Nice. Oh, close. That's a tough shot. Good try. Yeah, I like your positioning. Your positioning and like your decision making for the most, like you're doing a really good job of not overcommitting, not double committing with your teammate, positioning well to follow up whatever's about to happen, pulling off the ball when your teammate overcommits. So yeah, I like your positioning for the most part. Okay. Ooh. All right. I think we're trying to pass to our teammate here. Not a good touch though. Is that going to be a goal? It is. This is really, really risky, and it's easy to see why, right? You're trying to pass this to your teammate, but think to yourself, what's the worst case scenario here? Okay, the worst case scenario is this actually is a pass to our opponent. Like, this is a 50-50 chance of who's getting to this ball first, and if your teammate's even gonna go for it, or it's just not worth going for this, right? You're 0 boost. After this touch, you're gonna be out of the play for a while, floating down. High chance that he's either going to 50 your teammate isn't gonna go like he didn't in future reference. Don't do this again. Don't do this again. Just come back down to the ground with the ball. Honestly, what you can do here to keep your opponent from going, just sort of a high level sort of tip for you, is use your flip as a threat to keep him from coming, right? So if you actually come down the wall with the ball, let me see from your perspective one more time. If you had a chance to straighten out your car down the wall, that would be ideal. So yeah, it's tough to see whether or not you could have done this, but definitely don't do that. So what I was gonna say is, what you want to do to keep him from going is actually jump off of the wall when he would want to challenge. Think to yourself, okay, when would he want to go for this ball? And hypothetically, let's just ignore the fact that you're hitting this. Say the ball continues to fall down. It's falling down about here. If you don't go for it, he would be jumping. He would be wanting to go for this probably when the ball was about where we're at now. But when it's down here. So what you should do is actually just stay on the wall until about then, and then jump off the wall, because now the fact that you've jumped off of the wall towards the ball, somewhat like between the ball and the wall, means that you have a flip, and he knows that, and he knows if he goes, you can use that flip to beat him. And so a lot of the time you can get your opponent to not go by threatening that. And so in a position where like you shouldn't have the upper hand, you can sort of mind game your opponent that way. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Kind of a higher level tactic. Yeah, just threatening the fact that you have a flip in order to prevent him from going, and then you can land, maybe stay behind the ball, or he'll have time to go. He will have had time to go if he wants to go for it. But yeah, there you go. Moving on. If you understand what I'm saying to do there, anyone watching, comment down below. Let me know. Tell me that you understood that. Another thing that I want you guys to comment down below is actually what kind of videos you want to see. What videos you want to see next? What type of videos? Seriously, whatever you're interested in. And then if you see comments down there that are something that you would want to see, thumbs it up. And I will very possibly make a video on whatever it says. Obviously Rocket League related. Yeah, I just want to produce content that you guys want to watch. Okay, so this is the one time so far, not one time probably, but first time that I'm going to say I don't like your positioning. So here we are in no man's land, right? On the what's about to happen, on the play that could possibly develop here, we're in no man's land. So we didn't commit to fake challenging and shadowing, or possibly real challenging. So essentially we didn't put ourselves in this position to either challenge or fake challenge. And we also aren't positioned wide facing the play in order to have an easier time defending a bounce off of the back wall, right? So our two outcomes that could happen here are he pinches the ball as it hits the wall here, he flips into it and it bounces really hard out this way, or he stays behind the ball and drives it out this way, or drives it, you know, along the back wall. And with our positioning here, we're not positioned well to cover either. So this ball bounces off the back wall about here. He has a time to come shoot while we would still be trying to turn around to face the play. So in that scenario, if we're trying to cover that option, we would want to have, as this play developed and you decided not to challenge there, we would want to swing out wide, get back post. Back post is important. Don't defend from near post. I hate when I see that. Causes so many preventable goals. We always defend from the back post. And then if that ball shoots off that back wall, you're facing straight ahead at the play. You've got an easy challenge. And if he dribbles it up the back wall, again, you're facing it. You have an easy challenge. Our other option was to drive into the corner here, steal this boost, and then turn out this way. That way, again, if he shoots it off of the back wall out towards midfield, we are facing the ball and we get an easy either possession or a beat on this guy. The benefit of that play is you do steal the boost from him. You don't allow him to have resources. Again, though, if you are going to make that play, you do need to watch for the demo. So either one are good plays. The only thing is you have to watch for the demo if you're positioned here waiting to see what he's going to do. Always got to keep that in mind. Just like I said earlier, when somebody's rotating through your corner, they're going to go for a demo on you. Long shot attempt, I believe. I like the long shot play. Just mis-executed it. Oh no. Oh no. Very unnecessary to turn early for this challenge. 10 seconds. Just gotta make sure you don't get scored on. And again, this is maybe an experience issue. But you're very far away from the net still. So there's two things that this guy can do. He can get another touch on his air dribble like he does, or he can go for a flip reset. Either of those plays, the more threatening one is the flip reset, because there's a very low chance, but not impossible chance, that he gets some ridiculous power on the flick. Sometimes that just happens on flip resets. Pros are kind of a little bit more consistent at getting just nasty power on a flip reset like flick. But when you're not a pro, like literally any rank below like high SSL, people don't really have very good control of the flip reset, like of the actual touch after the flip reset. So very low percentage chance that a flip reset would get past you to your net, and also an air dribble isn't going to get past you to your net if you just wait this out. The ball is falling downwards. It's going to end about here, maybe slightly further, but again, you've got lots of time before you're in your net. Right, this trajectory of this ball is putting it like right here. Plenty of space to take a 50-50 towards your corner, burn out the rest of the time on the clock. Again, he goes for the flip reset here. Very low to the ground. Very unlikely that a flip reset would get past you, but that is the more threatening option for him. So the early challenge there was just unnecessary and just invited him to have a chance to equalize the game here. So just gotta recognize like what's threatening and what's not. He was not threatening in that position there. All right, overtime. See how this ends. Hey, fine. Yeah, sure, in hindsight you can see that that's a bad challenge. You had a lot of, like, okay, if somebody jumps before you, they're beating you. Just boom, that's it. Live by that rule. If somebody jumps before you, they're beating you, and at that point you should either not go for it at all, or you should pull off. If somebody's up before you, they're beating you to the ball, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, obviously, there might be some cases where that's not true, like if they're just being stupid and aerialing from the ball, or aerialing for the ball from across the field, like just ball chasing or trolling. Maybe like that's situational. But for the most part, if somebody's jumping before you, they're going to beat you to the ball. And you just shouldn't go. Or if you've already gone, you should pull off, so that you can recover and get back faster. So we had plenty of time here to see that he was up before us, and I think you maybe even only jumped because you saw him go up. But that's a bad decision. That's a bad way of thinking. You don't watch your opponent go up and then think, oh crap, he's going, I need to beat him. Because that's not how it works. If they jump before you, most likely they're going to get there before you. So you shouldn't go if you see your opponent go. If you're going to try to beat somebody to the ball, you need to be up before them. Oh. That was worth going for, honestly. Very, pretty decent chance that you do dunk him in the net here. We just sort of psyched ourselves out, I think, and just whiffed the ball. Unlucky. Yep, demo on that guy would be huge. And that guy just peeks on you for the win. Tough. You'll have that sometimes. Yeah, that's going in, I believe, whether you hit that or not, so it didn't really matter. You ended up own goaling it. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. You just peaked. Really nothing you can do there. You played that out fine. All you can really say is don't make the mistakes that you made leading up to this point in time, and the game could have been different, right? That's all that you can say in that moment. There's always mistakes that you made earlier in the game, where if you hadn't made those mistakes, maybe you wouldn't have been in this position to begin with. So that's it. That's going to be the analysis. A little bit of a shorter one, but I think there was actually a lot of really good information in this one and stuff that I haven't said before, which is good. I've been trying to make that more of a common occurrence lately, pointing out smaller details in order to not feel so repetitive in these analysis. But yeah, positioning wise, I think you looked pretty solid. Your positioning and your decision making on when to go and when not to go was good, but you need to cut out the hesitation. 2 times earlier in the game and at the very beginning when you couldn't decide whether you wanted to go up the wall for the ball or not, and then towards like the middle of the game when you could have cleanly beat the guy and had a follow-up with 100 boost towards your opponent's net, but you just hesitated and ended up getting 50'd instead. And then also, I think the other 2 most important things I pointed out were not wasting your time and boost and positioning to go for a ball that has no threatening outcome, right? When you went up for that shot or that touch when you didn't have to in front of their net, where you couldn't put on a threatening shot and you could have kept control without wasting all of your boost and just getting a little touch off of the corner wall. And then the last the last big thing towards the end of the game was what was it? Not going if your opponent's already up. If your opponent's already up, there's no point in going. They're beating you 9 times out of 10. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like on it, comment down below. Like I said, tell me what you want to see, leave a thumbs up on other people's suggestions, and I will highly consider making that type of content, or that content, a video of that type. Again, I just want to make content that you guys genuinely want to see and you guys like. If it's just more replay analysis, let me know. I'm also on the side working on, like I've said in previous videos, the kickoff tutorial, kickoff ultimate guide, and subscribe for future content, guys. That's it. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. Peace.